Welcome back, guys. Well, we've got a new list of states with the most inventory piling up in the housing market right now, and I think they're going to surprise you. Surprised me. Feeling a little left out, if I'm being honest. So, as you guys know, Southwest Florida, where I am today, I'm on the rooftops of Punta Gorda here, has led the way for inventory explosions in homes for sale for the past 2 years. It seems to be starting to slow down compared to other areas. But really, when I started talking about this 2 years ago, that we're getting these massive buildups in homes for sale, it was kind of like, yeah, maybe. If it's happening, then it's only in your area. Which at the time, Charlotte County, Lee County, Sarasota to some extent, they were right. But I kept cautioning that this could spread very quickly to the rest of the states, potentially out of the states, because I was seeing trends of investors selling off, buyers pulling back for various reasons. That's just how it works. So not only has it spread to the entire state of Florida now, if you guys have watched any of my stats videos, you know, inventory is ballooning everywhere, even the East Coast, areas of South Florida, which we'll also go over here. Texas getting absolutely hammered. All of a sudden, those were the two states that started being the poster children. But now there's a list of the top 10 states with the most exploding inventory, and we're not even on it. Take a look at this, guys. Like I said, I'm feeling a little left out. Normally, Florida and Texas are going to be on this list, but they're nowhere to be found. So now what started in Southwest Florida, then moved to the state, is now branching out nationwide, apparently. Now, obviously, you're going to have strongholds like the Northeast that they're always going to be fine. There's not enough housing. They're not building enough. But a lot of these surprised me to see Colorado on here as number 6, New Mexico, Washington State, and these are all places I've gotten buyers from. The top 3, Nevada, Maryland, and North Carolina. Interesting. Arizona, kind of a usual suspect on there, number 5. But when you look at the percentages for some of these, that's where I'm really getting shocked, because none of these are under 30%. So, and just something like Nevada at 52%, it's catastrophic when you have an increase in listings year over year to the tune of 52%. And how do I know that? Well, you guys know how I know that. We lived through it here. I've seen it happen. I know what it means. So looking at this map, I suspect that places that have not had price declines, if they're not happening already, are coming. They're definitely coming. I'm going to assume that in most of these areas, houses are staying on the market much, much longer than they were. And they are probably not selling over asking price, which is a given. But interesting. I cannot believe that now Florida and Texas are off this list of the top 10. And I can speculate why that is, mostly because we've already had our massive listing explosion, and the listings are still on the market here. So increases year over year are not going to be as massive as you would see in some of these places, which when we go through our stats at the end of the month, we tend to see that. I used to see numbers like this, really, 30%, 50% inventory increases here. But now that's kind of slowed down. Our active inventory count is high. Our total number of homes on the market is high, but the ones compared to the previous year, it's leveling off a little bit just because we already have so much out there. It's crazy. You know, they go on to talk about what's going on in Nevada here. Again, something that we saw here in Southwest Florida as well. They have seen a strong uptick in investors selling off their properties for various reasons, guys. We know we've gone over all of them here on the channel. The passive income myth that turns out it's not so passive. You know, the carrying costs just skyrocketing even for landlords, while at the same time rents are dropping or stagnating. So your cost is going up quite a bit, and you can't really raise the rents anymore because you have too much competition. So not a surprise there. Seems to be the same exact thing. And I think it's funny. I'd be interested to see what was going on in North Carolina. I suspect some of that's going to be kind of similar there and these other places, but it's funny that when you remove a large portion of investors from, seems like any given market, when you take out the speculative buying and you just leave people who want homes to live in or vacation in, we get a housing crisis. That's weird. What does that tell you guys at the end of the day? They go on to say that the inventory from July 25 to 24 nationwide is up There's 25% more listings on the market nationwide than there were for July. Last year, that marks the 21st consecutive increase in active listings year over year. It's a lot of listings. But they do go on to point out that while it's an all-time high for post-pandemic inventory, it's still 13% less than what was on the market pre-2020. So in 2019, our listings were still elevated nationwide, about 13% from where they are now. That varies place to place though, guys, you know that. So some areas like here, we're at like 2009 levels of inventory some months in Punta Gorda. People are back at 2017, 2016 levels of inventory. It really is very location specific. So have to put that asterisk in there. You know, you can't look at it from a national level like that. Oh, sir. Oh, we got motorcycles and shit coming up here. Guys, I'm trying to film a YouTube video. What's going on? Oh my God. It's Tokyo Drift. Oh man, I feel like it's all about family right now. Are we gonna street race, guys? I mean, I'll try to take you in the Honda Fit. Don't leave, let's do it. You never had your car. I live my life a quarter mile at a time, come back. So an interesting story in this article, guys. There's a broker in South Florida that actually has an agent transferring from one of these areas, Colorado specifically, because the market is getting flooded with listings. This agent said that they're transferring to Florida because it was so bad in Colorado, they had to get a second job despite having over 10 listings. Well, talk about out of the frying pan into the fire, potentially. Hate to break it to you. You know what I'm saying, guys? They might be in for a surprise when they get to South Florida. I'm sure they did research beforehand, but I wouldn't classify the market here as much better than that. It's not unheard of for agents to have 10 listings. I try not to do that, but I'm luckily that luckily most of mine have sold this year. But I don't know. So when they ask the broker why, the owner, why they would do this, they seem to feel that South Florida saw, I'll quote them, South Florida saw our tipping point inventory increase a year ago. However, we are now seeing on the ground more activity because the amount of must sellers is outweighing must buyers. And that's where the delisting comes back in, guys. I don't think it's going to matter at the end of the day. When you look at the amount of delistings in the total scheme of things, what I think is going to happen if you choose to delist and wait. Again, it's my personal opinion. I don't have a crystal ball, guys. But I think that a lot of people are not going to choose to delist. They're going to sell their homes. They're going to bring the comps down, and you're going to come back in 6 months and go, oh boy, that's the trend right now. That's the trend that I foresee occurring. My opinion, again, don't have a crystal ball, but we'll see. The broker goes on to say, however, once the market turns, we should see homes go quickly because there's still a shortage. What are you talking about? Sellers outweigh buyers, still a shortage. It's just that unaffordability isn't great. Okay. So even 2 seconds after they said that there's more sellers than there are buyers, they turned around and said, still a shortage, though. Doesn't make sense. I mean, unless I'm reading it wrong. Doesn't make sense. Oh. Got some fellow vloggers back there, huh? We doing a little posing on the bike. I like it. Now I feel like I'm interrupting them. And I guess I'll take the elevator down and go to the bottom floor and see what's going on until the photo shoot's done. The audacity of me currently to be getting upset at these people for being out in public and trying to film or shoot. How dare they? Who does that? Guess we're just going to take the elevator down. Not a big fan of elevators. Not a big fan of heights, but anyway. So, Echo. This might sound like crap, guys. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully we get down to the bottom of the floor quickly. So we've seen the markets with the most buildup in inventory. Where are they falling the fastest? Because they also gave us this information as well. So they've got 10 markets where prices are dropping fastest in the nation. And it doesn't necessarily correlate with that list that we just went over. A lot of stuff, as you can see, I'll put the map up here, a lot of stuff in the center of the country, but good old Cape Coral sitting there at number 5. Oof, can't catch a break in Cape Coral right now. Nonstop. Punta Gorda's not on here this time, which is surprising to see. But there's Colorado Springs, oof, Nashville, repeat offender, Austin, Texas, always on there for some big numbers. So you can see these are some of the areas that saw large increases previously in their listed homes year over year, and now subsequent price declines come. Now, what I found interesting is when you look at Charlotte County, again, where I am today, and you look at the median sales price here, even though year over year, like this, it has fallen continuously for really like 20 months at this point. The median sales price, what people are purchasing, the halfway point, is staying approximately the same, interestingly enough. This year, it's been about $350 no matter what month it is. Again, down from the previous year, but so far a steady $350. And when people see that, sometimes they think, well, the prices aren't going down. No, the prices are still going down. The thing is, what you can get for $350 is vastly different. So it seems like the price point in Charlotte County, people are most comfortable paying about $350,000 for a house right now. Now, you can argue if you think that's a good idea or a bad idea. It's a personal preference. But that's the line. That's where people want to pay. They'll be like, I'm coming here, I'll spend on median $350K. The house you can get for $350K is what has changed. I mean, we're talking some new construction, 2,000 square foot homes. Very different from what you could get last year for $350. Very different from what you could get the year before for $350. I mean, there was a point, say like in Northport, I couldn't get you a 20-year-old house that was bigger than 1,700 square feet for under $400K. No pool. No pool. And this year, I've sold 2,400 square foot houses, 2 years old, for $350. So, that's how, when you look at the median, you may say it's not going down, but that's where I think inflation comes into play with it as well, guys. That might be, we're trying to find where's the floor between price drops and normal appreciation and inflation that housing median prices are gonna fall. Right now, based on this year, Charlotte County, it looks like that number's around $350. And I'll probably do a video looking at all of the counties around here to see where that point is hitting. But that's what people feel comfortable paying currently in this county. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me today. If you like this video, give me a like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.